213 is on the posterior midline, below the spinous process of T1.
Gallbladder 21 is located midway between Do14 at the base of C7 and the lateral extremity of the acromion process, but at the crest of the trapezius muscle. To find the crest of the muscle, it may be necessary to dip down slightly to make sure you get the highest part. This point forms a line with Sanjar 15 and small intestine 13. Gallbladder 21. Gallbladder 12 is found just a few fen anterior and inferior to the extra point peaceful sleep. Gallbladder 16 is located on the curved line joining gallbladder 15 to gallbladder 20. It's 1/3 of the distance from gallbladder 15 to gallbladder 18, which is on a level with Do20. This makes this your gallbladder 16. To locate gallbladder 20, palpate up the groove in between the sternocleidomastoid and trapezius muscles. As you get to the base of the occiput, you will find a nice depression. Gallbladder 20 is in the centre of that depression. Small intestine 3 is on the ulnar aspect of the hand. It's in a depression which is proximal to the head of the 5th metacarpal. It's in between the metacarpal bone and the muscle, and it typically lays on a level with a distal palmar crease. Lung 7 is located 1.5 cm proximal to lung 9. It's located just a little lateral to the main line running from lung 9 to lung 5, in a cleft between the tendons of abductor pollicis longus and brachioradialis. It's located just at the base of the flare of the styloid process of the radius. In this position, the point is just about visible on the corner of the arm. If you locate the point too radial, it's falling onto the yang surface of the arm. Gallbladder 34 is located in a depression which is anterior and inferior to the head of the fibula. To locate the head of the fibula, find the tibial tuberosity and move laterally until you find a prominent bony landmark. Be sure that you don't confuse the head of the fibula with the lateral condyle of the tibia, which is closer to the kneecap. Gallbladder 35 is located 7 cm superior to the prominence of the lateral malleolus. It's at the posterior border of the fibula. If you can't find the posterior border of the fibula, raise the foot slightly to allow the flesh to drop away from the bone. This point is on the same level as gallbladder 36, but posterior to it. Spleen 4 is located in a depression which is distal and inferior to the flare of the base of the first metatarsal. Feel along the inferior border of the first metatarsal, find the flare of the base and place your point in between that flare and muscle. Spleen 4 is about 1 cun proximal to spleen 3. Be careful when palpating along the inferior border of the metatarsal that you don't overshoot the head and find this nice dip in between the medial cuneiform bone and the base of the metatarsal. It's a nice dip, but it's not spleen 4. Stomach 42 is located on the dorsum of the foot between the second and third metatarsals and the cuneiform bones. It's approximately 1.5 cun proximal to stomach 43. In some people, when they point their foot and pull up their toes, a nice depression appears here. Stomach 43 is located on the dorsum of the foot between the second and third metatarsals. It's 1 cun proximal to stomach 44. An easy way to find it is to divide the distance from stomach 41 to the end of the web margin between the second and third toes into thirds. This will give you your location for stomach 43. Stomach 44 is located 0.5 cun proximal to the web margin between the second and third toes. This point should fit nicely into the flare of the base of the proximal phalange of the second toe.